Every woman tests a man, but she doesn't do it through direct questions or clear statements. She does it through behavior, through small actions that reveal how she feels without ever needing to say it out loud. And if you don't understand what you're looking at, you can miss everything without even realizing it happened. Most men expect attraction to be obvious. They wait for clear signs, for direct words, for something that removes all doubt. But attraction doesn't work that way. A woman rarely expresses desire in a straightforward manner. She doesn't openly declare interest or make things easy to interpret. Instead, she communicates through subtle shifts in how she behaves, how she reacts, and how she carries herself around you. These signals are quiet, easy to overlook, and often misunderstood. And that's exactly why so many men fail to recognize them when they matter most. Most men end up waiting for something obvious, something bold enough to remove all doubt and confirm what they hope is there. They expect a clear signal, a moment where everything becomes undeniable. But the reality is different. By the time attraction becomes obvious, the decision has already been made. She has already observed you, already formed an impression, already decided how she feels. What you need to understand is that attraction does not announce itself loudly. It hides in the smallest details, in the way she looks at you, in how she positions herself around you, and in how she reacts when she believes you are not paying attention. These moments are easy to dismiss if you are not aware of them, yet they are the most honest signals you will ever get. They reveal what she feels long before she is willing to say it. You have likely experienced these moments before without realizing what they meant. Think about a time when a woman behaved slightly differently around you compared to everyone else. It may have been subtle, nothing dramatic, but noticeable if you paid attention. Perhaps her tone softened when she spoke to you, or she seemed more focused and engaged in your presence. She might have stayed closer than necessary, or found small reasons to continue interacting with you, even after the conversation could have ended. At the time, it may have felt random or insignificant, something easy to overlook. But it was not random. Those were signals expressed through behavior rather than words. The reason they are often missed is because they do not appear in obvious or direct forms. They are wrapped in emotion, instinct, and small actions that can be dismissed verbally, but are consistently revealed through what she does. These signals don't come in clear, unmistakable forms. They show up in behavior, in emotion, and in instinctive reactions that happen before she has time to think about them. That's what makes them so easy to deny with words, but impossible to hide through actions. This is how female psychology operates at a deeper level. A woman's body often responds before her mind fully processes what she's feeling. Her behavior begins to shift before she can explain why it's happening. And if you understand how to read those shifts, you start to see something most men never notice. You begin to recognize desire before it is ever spoken. In this video, you're going to learn how to identify those patterns, not the obvious signs that everyone talks about, but the deeper behaviors that reveal what she actually feels beneath the surface. Once you understand this, your entire perspective changes. Once you begin to understand these patterns, something shifts in how you see every interaction. You stop relying on guesswork, and you stop overanalyzing every word she says. Instead, you start paying attention to what's actually happening in front of you. The small moments that once felt confusing begin to make sense. You realize that the signals were always there, just hidden in plain sight. And more importantly, you stop missing the moments that actually matter. Because the truth is, attraction doesn't wait for you to figure it out. It moves quietly, and if you're not aware of it, it passes just as quietly. Before you can truly recognize these signs, you need to understand why they exist in the first place. Because if you keep expecting her to tell you directly how she feels, you will continue overlooking what she is already showing you through her actions. Most women do not communicate attraction in a direct way, and that is not because they are unsure or confused about what they feel. It comes from how attraction and emotional safety are connected on a deeper psychological level. For a woman, openly expressing desire can feel like stepping into a vulnerable position. It exposes her emotions and creates the possibility of being rejected, misunderstood, or judged. Because of that, her instinct is to protect herself first before revealing anything clearly. Instead of saying what she feels, she lets it show through behavior. This is where the difference between men and women becomes clear. Men often express interest directly, while women reveal it indirectly through subtle changes in their energy, their actions, and how they respond to you. If you don't understand this difference, you'll keep waiting for words that were never meant to be spoken in the first place. This pattern is not random, it follows a psychological process. Attraction for a woman often begins beneath the surface before it ever becomes something she consciously understands. Her body reacts first, her emotions begin to shift, and only later does her mind catch up and make sense of what she is feeling. That is why her actions often reveal more than anything she says. You will notice it in the way her attention changes when you are around. She becomes more aware of your presence, even if she is trying to act normal. Her energy adjusts, her focus shifts, and small details in her behavior begin to reflect that internal change. She may not speak about it or acknowledge it directly, but it shows through how she carries herself. These subtle shifts are not accidental. They are early indicators that something is happening internally, long before she decides how to express it outwardly. Another reason she avoids expressing everything directly is because she is observing you at the same time. Before she allows herself to fully lean into what she feels, she wants to understand who you are beyond surface impressions. She pays attention to how you behave, how you react under pressure, how you handle simple situations, and how consistent you are in your actions. It is not just about what you say, it is about how you carry yourself when you think no one is paying attention. For her, attraction is not only physical, it is deeply tied to emotional and psychological safety. She needs to feel that you are steady, that you can understand her, and that showing interest will not put her in a position where she feels exposed or out of control. Because of that, she does not rush to reveal everything. She allows your behavior to guide her next move. Instead of asking direct questions or making her feelings obvious, she begins to test the situation in a quiet and controlled way. These tests are not confrontational or dramatic. They show up through small changes in behavior that most men overlook. She may move slightly closer, give brief moments of attention, or create opportunities for interaction that seem casual on the surface. At the same time, she is carefully observing how you respond. If your reaction feels calm and natural, she becomes more open and allows the interaction to grow. But if your response feels forced, uncertain, or overly intense, she pulls back without needing to explain why. This is where many men become confused. They interpret the change as inconsistency, when in reality, it is a response to how safe she feels in that moment. Her behavior adjusts based on the signals she receives from you. Once you understand this, the pattern becomes much clearer, and once you begin to recognize that pattern, everything starts to make more sense. What once felt confusing or inconsistent now reveals a clear structure behind it. You stop focusing on what she says and start paying attention to what she consistently shows through her behavior. And when you do that, you no longer need constant reassurance or direct confirmation. Her actions begin to speak for themselves. This is the shift that changes how you see attraction completely. Because instead of waiting, guessing, or overthinking, you start observing with clarity. And when you understand what she is communicating beneath the surface, you don't need her to explain it. The first sign is one that almost every man overlooks, not because it is rare, but because it appears so natural that it goes unnoticed. But once you become aware of it, you will start seeing it everywhere, and you will never look at it the same way again.